The word on the street is that the economy is about to crash. We're about to see a massive crash in both the Bitcoin market and the global markets at large. So these are two separate things caused by separate things, right? So the Bitcoin one, the speculation is that we are overheating, or we're very overheated at the moment because of the ETFs and the institutional buy-ins. It's been a win and a lose at the same time. So we've had a situation where Bitcoin is overheated without altcoins even, approaching their all-time highs. And it needs to come down. The people, the analysts who are looking at the graphs and the waves, etc., 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 are saying that, man, we're due a proper massive correction. And they are talking about, not 10, 20%. They're talking about it reaching all the way back down to 69,000 per Bitcoin. So that's fear number one. The second one is to do with the global crisis that we're having now, the failure of the fiat system, and just like the lack of trust in the entity that is the United States when it comes to providing security, financial security for hedge funds and countries that want to hedge their wealth, right? They've had that, reduction in the rating, the Moody rating when it comes to the credit rating. So that's affected the trust in the US dollar. Also, like there's been a lot of alternatives pop up all over the place, and people are now looking sideways rather than up at the US. I mean, the thing is, the fiat system generally has failed anyway, right? It's been a long time coming. The whole system is based on belief and trust. That trust is eroding fast, sparked by many things. I mean, you could go all the way back to, the boom and bust 2008 financial crises. Some people can say that the exacerbation happened actually with the pandemic, when the majority, or not majority, but a really large percentage of fiat currency that's ever been printed was printed during that short period of time. And we basically at that point mortgaged the future of our children and our grandchildren to this one event. Now, some of you guys who are conspiracy theories, normally is what we've been referring to you as, are starting to look a little bit more rational every day, more and more rational. Sounds like you guys may have been not complete lunatics, because you mentioned this stuff years ago. A lot of you have been talking about global reset, the financial reset. Own nothing and be happy is what people have been saying. A new world order, yada, yada, yada. You guys were loonies, man. Crazy lunatics. But look at us now. You're not looking so crazy. I was watching a video actually by Coin Bureau, arguably the greatest trader of all time, investor of all time in the stock market. And it seems like he's sold, man. Stepping down apparently, and he's living behind a ginormous stash of cash. It looks like he's been selling. And he's well known over the decades to be able to call the time to sell, to get the heck out. And we're seeing this paralleled in the Bitcoin market, where people are selling in terms of whales that are in massive profit are taking profit. So we're not seeing that much of a difference, because obviously the ETFs are being bought by institutions. But remember, institutions, they don't need the money now. They can wait 20, 30 years. They're buying this stuff as a hedge, and a lot of it is utility for maybe even decades to come, because they see the future. And also they have infinitely deep pockets, limitless supply of money. So what the institutions are doing are neither here nor there. What the whales are doing is quite interesting. And if this were to happen, and there was to be a 50% correction in the price of Bitcoin, first of all, it wouldn't be the first time that were to happen. That's actually to be expected, to be honest. The last run, we had two of such situations. The run before that, we had a couple of them too. And I remember beating myself up for not taking advantage of that. But this time, I don't know, I might start to prepare. I mean, I do have a little bit of dry powder, but that's for my DCA purposes. But who knows, I might gather some, not financial advice, of course, your own research. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.